Good morning. Thank you for joining with us at Oman Parish Church here in Ballon. I was a great fan of folk music in my early years, particularly those songs of protest, the anti-war songs, the anti-poverty songs. And I remember the Kingston Trio singing a song with a really strange title. It was called Merry Minuet, and yet it was anything but merry. It was something like this. I wouldn't sing it to you, but these are the words. They're rioting in Africa. They're starving in Spain. There's hurricanes in Florida, and Texas needs rain. The whole world is festering with unhappy souls. The French hate the Germans hate the Poles, the Italians hate the Yugoslavs, South Africans hate the Dutch, and I don't like anybody very much. But we can be tranquil and thankful and proud, for man's been endowed with a mushroom-shaped cloud, and we know that for certain that some lovely day, somebody will set the spark off and we'll all be blown away. They're rioting in Africa. There's strife in Iran. What nature doesn't do to us will be done by our fellow man. It's satire, but it's a pretty apt description. Situations may change, but human nature does not. There is something about us that causes us to brand people that we don't like as unlikable, inferior, undeserving. We want to reject them and shut them out, and sadly, even sometimes go to war with them. But it was no different in Jesus' day. On one occasion, he took himself off to a place called Tyre and Sidon. It was just outside the land of Palestine, to the north of Galilee. It was a land occupied by people of various religions, and none of these religions was more detestable to the Jews than the Canaanites. So I love the story of this Canaanite woman who suddenly accosts Jesus. She wants Jesus to do something about her daughter. It was nothing new for someone to come to Jesus crying out for healing, either for themselves or for somebody they loved. But a Canaanite, they were just the pits as far as the Jews were concerned. And it didn't help that this particular Canaanite was a woman, because women had very little status in Jewish society. They had very few rights. So what was this woman up to? The crowd, of course, tried to shut her up. The disciples wanted rid of her, but she is one persistent individual. And Jesus initially isn't too kind to her. And that bothers me. It seems uncharacteristic. Maybe it's a test of this woman's faith, who knows? Maybe he had a smile on his face, and the woman could see in his eyes that he wasn't meaning to be offensive. I don't know. Or maybe, just maybe, this story was included as a reminder as to how pervasive prejudice is in every culture. Maybe it was intended to shock us. At any rate, this caustic phrase hangs out there, causing discomfort. But the woman gives a wonderful response. She says, even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table. Touché. You were not going to dismiss this worried mother so easily. She knew who she was. She might be a Canaanite, she might be a woman, but she had a place in the world. She had rights as a child of God. If Jesus was who he said he was, then he would not turn her away. And of course he didn't. And Jesus said to her, women, you have great faith. Your request is granted. And her daughter was healed at that very moment. Of course, she was a mother, concerned about her daughter. And love gives a person courage. She was pushy, but she was a hero to Jesus. And he said, woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted. Only one thing mattered, and that was doing what is right. Taking a stand for what was good. And you know, sometimes you and I have got to do that. I like this woman. She stood up for what she believed. I like her. And maybe the message of that wonderful mother is, hang in there. It's a message for all of us today. Again, I thank you sincerely for listening to me this morning.